everyone, so today we're going to be doing some breakfast and I'm going to be making some fried sausage, and this is how we do it, or how I do it, the Caribbean way. Alright, so I'm going to take you all along on how I make breakfast for my family. Alright, so first up, I do have some tomatoes here that I'm going to cut up. I have 3 tomatoes. Everything is already washed, so it's just to begin cutting it up now. So I'm just dicing up my aromatics. Just another one. So I'm just making breakfast today, and for breakfast I'm gonna be frying up some sausage, some hot dog sausage, some chicken hot dog sausage. But first I am just cutting up my aromatics that I am going to be using to fry up that sausage. And this is 3 tomatoes that I diced up here already. Alright, so my tomatoes are diced up. I'm just going to put them back into the bowl that I had it in. Alright, so my tomatoes are cut up. Next, I'm going to cut up half an onion and 1 pimento. This is going to be my next set of aromatics. Hi and welcome, and what you're seeing here is me just cutting up my aromatics. I am going to be making some fried sausage this morning for breakfast, so I am just cutting up my aromatics for that. So my onions are already cut up. I'm just going to put them back into this bowl right here. And I'm gonna cut up 1 pimento. This is not hot, it just adds a really nice flavor to the dishes. I'm making breakfast this morning, guys. For those of you who are new here, my name is Cherise, and on my channel I do show how I make different types of Caribbean dishes, well, Trinidad dishes. And this morning I'm actually gonna be making some fried sausage for breakfast. So my onions and pimento is already diced up, as well as my tomatoes are diced up. This is 3 tomatoes here. I am gonna be doing, for green seasoning, I'm gonna be doing some shadow benny and some celery. Right, so I'm gonna cut up the shadow benny first, and then I'm gonna cut up the celery. I'm gonna get a bigger knife for this. I already made bread, so there's fresh bread ready to be eaten with breakfast. So this sausage that I'm making here. I'm just gonna put that to the side on the cutting board. And I'm gonna do my celery. I just cut off the end here, cutting up the stem. The stem has a lot of flavor as well. So I'm gonna bring back in the shadow benny, and I'm just gonna cut it up a little bit finer. Alright, so our green season is cut up, and I'm just gonna put it back in the plate right here. Next, I'm going to be cutting up my sausage, and I'm using hot dog sausages for breakfast this morning. So I'm gonna take them individually, and I'm gonna cut them down the center, and then I'm gonna cut them into some smaller pieces. Alright, just like that. So I'm gonna continue doing this with all the others until we are completed. If you have never had sausage this way, I encourage you to try it. You just might like it. Alright, set that to the side, and we have 2 more sausages to cut up, and then we're gonna head to the stove to fry them, to fry everything up together. Alright, so our sausages are now all cut up. I'm going to put them back, transfer them back to this plate that we had them in before. Alright, so we have our sausages all cut up. Alright. Come on this side, please. So for this dish, we have sausage, we have pimento and onion cut up. We have 3 tomatoes here, and for our green seasoning, we have shadow benny and celery, right? So I'm gonna head over to the stove and I'm gonna take you all with me as well, all right? So we're gonna head over to the stove. Good morning, guys. So for this morning we are actually making breakfast. So I'm preparing breakfast for my family, and I already made fresh white bread, and if you all need a tutorial on that, there is already 2 videos on my page on how I do my white bread, but I will show you all a sneak peek of the finished product once I'm finished with the sausage. And for breakfast we are going to be having some fried sausage. I am from Trinidad, so I'm going to be showing you all how I do it here in Trinidad, and that is what we're going to be eating with that white bread that just came out of the oven. It's cooling down. I don't like to rush into cutting my bread because I don't want it to mash up, but having hot bread with some butter, top tier, right? So I'm going to take you all along by the stove just to show you all how I do the sausage. I'm blocking the camera. Un po' là, là. I still blocking? Alright, so I'm just trying to get an angle here for you guys. I'm not sure how I'm doing this. So I'm just going to turn on the stove. Alright, I have my pan heating up. And I'm just going to wait for it to heat up a bit before I put anything in it. So we want to get some oil, and I'm using vegetable oil. Alright, and I'm going to put that into the pot. And I'm just going to let that oil heat up for a bit. And the first thing that I'm going to put in are the tomatoes that we just cut up. And I'm just going to let this cook up for a bit. Just to soften up before we add in anything else. want this tomato here to release all the juices from it. I'm gonna add in my onions and tomato so that they also cook and get soft as well. Hi Max Michael, how are you? I'm gonna add just a bit of water to help this cook. You can't wait to eat? Me either. Next we're going to be adding in our sausage. And I'm just going to fold this and mix it in. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it to help the sausage cook. Right, but that is looking beautiful already. Alright, so I'm just going to add some water to help it cook. Just kind of spreading everything evenly into the pot so that everything cooks together. You also want to have ketchup, mustard, and some salt on hand as well. Wait, so that was the ingredients, not the sausage. I thought the sausage. No, the sausage was not in it as yet, so I'm just gonna let this cook for a bit. Alright, so I have the sausage cooking there. You should smell this already, and we aren't even finished just yet. Next, I'm going to be adding some ketchup to this. Gonna add a good amount of ketchup. I'm also gonna add some mustard to this as well. Not too much. And I'm going to fold it in to bring everything together. some water into this, because now we want this to really cook with everything in it. And I'm also going to be adding my green seasoning. Now my green seasoning here is just shadow benny and some celery. And I'm going to fold it in and let everything cook down together. And we want the sauce to thicken up. So that is why we're going to be leaving it to cook just for a bit. You can smell it from your bed. I love that. Don't forget to add some salt. And this is a really easy, fun breakfast that you can make for your children, especially with the mere fact that school is going to be reopened. It's a great way to help you meal prep, to just make breakfast for them very easily in the morning. So when you make this amount, you can actually, if they're not going to be eating, if you and the entire family aren't going to be eating all of it, one time you can store it for breakfast or for dinner the next day. So I'm just gonna let this cook for a bit until the sauce has thickened up. And it's really that simple. We are gonna be having this with bread. I actually made fresh bread this morning. So this is what our bread is looking like. I made fresh bread this morning, so we're gonna be having that sausage with that bread that you all just saw there. And that is going to be breakfast. And you can see the sauce has already started thickening up. But I still want it to thicken up just a bit more so that it's not too runny. So you want to make sure that you gradually sort of stir it so that it doesn't burn around the edges of the pots. At this point you could taste for salt if you want to add any more sugar, any more ketchup, based on your level of sweetness or your desired level of sweetness. Because with adding tomatoes to this, it does add a bit of a tangy flavor to it. So if that's not your style, then you would want to make sure and add in a little bit more of the ketchup. But our sausages are finished. So I'm going to take off the stove and we are just going to plate this and serve this for breakfast. So this is what our sausage is looking like. Right, I'm gonna take you all back by the table and we're gonna plate this for breakfast. Alright, so this is breakfast this morning. Like I said, I'm preparing breakfast for my family this morning. So I'm taking you on that journey of me preparing breakfast. I did make some sausage and I did make some fresh bread this morning. So we are going to be eating that sausage that I just prepared with our fresh bread that we made also. Alright, so we are completed with making the sausage. I'm just going to plate it so that I could serve it to the family. Alright, so that's what our sausage is looking like there. Absolutely gorgeous and tasty. Right. Right, so I have a plate here ready for serving. Right, so I'm just gonna plate some of the sausage in a plate here. I'm gonna get another plate for bread. This is our bread. Our bread is very soft and moist, which is what we want. I'm just gonna slice a few slices of bread. This is what our bread is looking like. Very soft, nice. Right. That's how our bread is looking. And so I'm gonna put one more slice. Alright. And that is breakfast. I'm just gonna move this out the way so that y'all can see it. And this is breakfast. So we have our fresh bread and we also have our sausage that we prepared here. And this is breakfast. So I'm going to plate the rest for the rest of the family and we're gonna sit and enjoy breakfast. So I will be back at some point in time today, so I hope to see you all tune in. I'm gonna be cleaning some season and making some seasoning, so I'll see you all a little bit later on. Bye.